Hello, my name is Mika and this is my world tour. In this week's episode we're gonna travel first to England and meet there Canadian stand-up comedian Glenn Wool and then travel with him across the Atlantic Ocean into Canada and Vancouver. Join me. I was lost in my head, looked around, there was no one there. I got out to breathe the fresh air. So, Glenn Wool is a stand-up comedian who traveled around the world, kind of non-stop, about 5 years. He's been performing everywhere, all around the world, you name it. And he's from Canada, Vancouver, and now he is living in England. He has an English wife. I didn't know that they moved back to England, but nevertheless, we had a very nice talk, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. So let's travel, well, first to England, but our main destination is Vancouver, Canada. Vancouver is a city located in Western Canada, in the region of British Columbia. The city has 630,000 live in it, and the Greater Vancouver area has almost 2.5 million. The city is ranked globally as one of the best cities for livability and quality of life. The top sites to see in the city according to TripAdvisor are Stanley Park, Granville Islands, Vancouver Aquarium. One of the top restaurants in the city is Black Plus Blue. Do you agree? Comment your top picks down below. So, hello London.
Hello.
Hey Glenn. So this is the Connect flight. So you're in London or England now. Where are you exactly?
I'm in the tiny village of Finchingfield in the Essex countryside.
Okay. You enjoy yourself there?
Wow. Yeah. Actually, it's been a wonderful place to be locked down in. I've been going for runs in the countryside and riding my bicycle, and I couldn't have, and obviously my family's here too. I should stress that's important. But I couldn't. Yeah.
Say again. Sorry.
I couldn't have picked a better place.
Perfect. Are the gigs starting, or are you still you're a stand-up comedian for the spectators or watching
Yes.
this? So you're a stand-up comedian. Have you been able to work at all?
There was a little gap in the summertime where stuff came in, and I think it made it all the way sort of to November, and then it all got locked down again. So I didn't. I tried a few of the Zoom gigs, and yeah.
How did you find those?
I did not excel.
No. But listen, so we are now in England, but now we're gonna continue our trip to Canada. Where are you from originally, right?
Yes. I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia.
You miss it?
Sometimes I miss my family, but like my parents and my brothers. But my wife's English, so we live here. But some of the pictures I sent, it's almost bad when your hometown that you don't live in, when it's as beautiful as Vancouver, because you do tend to miss it. And they shoot a lot of movies and television shows, so you can't even turn on the TV if you're homesick. Or, it's one of the things I used to do when I was on the road. Like, I lived on the road for 5 years, just touring the world. And when I would get homesick, I'd turn on a really bad movie.
Vancouver?
Yeah.
So the film industry is quite big there, right? So I imagine the Hollywood films are doing their films there, right? I mean,
occasionally, yeah.
Occasionally,
yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
run. Sorry, continue.
It's
please.
usually, yeah, this is another problem with Zoom. It's like just that delay. It's just that slight bit. Sorry, what it? Give it. I don't.
It's not a connection. It's just.
Yeah, sounds like a football player trying to start to play. And now I forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about film industry. They occasionally film there.
Yeah, it's usually not big budget. Like the sometimes it's a blockbuster, but a lot of the time it's like Hallmark, made for TV romantic movie kind of deal. But,
I must ask you. You travel like 5 years, like non-stop gigging around the world. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You came to Finland, I think maybe 2-3 times. And thank you for the gigs, by the way. Really.
Thank you for having me.
I hope to have you soon again. But I have to ask, because for me it's always interesting, because I have always found it hard to do stand-up in English because of my second language. It feels like boxing with just one hand like this. You know what I mean? So I haven't had a chance to do it like you do. So what you got from it? What you have done everywhere? Where wouldn't you go again to do stand-up? Comedy must be pretty much same everywhere, right?
Yeah. Like funny is funny. It's humorous too, because sometimes interviewers will ask the question of who the best crowds are, and you're like, you're basically asking who the smartest country is. Like, you can really twist that the wrong way. I'll tell you who's dumb as a people.
But you must know that if you're Finland, you must say, well, the Swedish, they were the worst.
No, I can do a deep dive. My dad's Estonian, so I can.
Really?
Yeah, I can. Oh yeah. I laughed when I went to Finland, and because nobody knew. This is when I was backpacking. Nobody knew that I was of Estonian heritage, so I was going to Estonia next, and the Finns. They didn't hold back, and they didn't realize I was, it was like somebody telling like a racist joke to a black guy, and he's like,
Did you say anything? Did you say anything to us about that? No, I just heard it from.
Yeah, no, it was never horrible enough that it crossed a line that I had to like, hey, my dad, no. But the one thing that made me laugh was kind of across the board, the Finns were saying that the Estonians were thieves, and that they would do things to them when all the Finns were trying to do was just have a nice weekend away, and these Estonians would steal things from them. And then they say, oh, they drug your beer. And then I went and I saw how Finns behave in Estonia, and I was like, so you think that 16th beer was drugged, do you?
Yeah. I've seen that. I had never, ever probably be ashamed when I was in Estonia and Tallinn, and I saw how we behaved. I then totally understand why some of them maybe not to be so fun of us. So.
Well, it's not. You don't even get to the damn country. You're on the boat.
Yeah. Between to the spectators, between Helsinki and Tallinn, it takes like, I don't know, a couple of hours, and Finnish people go wasted and then brush to the city and we are the world.
Yeah. Yeah, as if the Estonian people haven't been through enough.
Yeah. And then I don't know, for some weird reason, we think that we've been always like big brothers or something to the Estonians because our language is pretty similar.
Yeah,
so we love them, but we think that we are the Finland, and
Well, that's what made me laugh too when I finally got to Finland, because I don't speak Estonian, but I understand a little bit. My dad used to speak it with my grandparents, so over a whole life, you pick up words here and there, and I'd hear Finnish and I'd go, well, it sounds exactly the same, but that's not. Those words are those are different.
It's
like, how did that happen?
I have no idea. It must be the booze.
Yeah, it's that damn boat ride.
Yeah,
you were trying to bring the language over. You got hammered on the boat, and it came out this jarbled mess.
It must be it. It must be it. When we left Estonia, we spoke perfect Estonian. Then we on the boat, we drink like so much vodka, and in Finland we invited a new language.
Yeah, we blame Saku beer.
Yeah, Saku beer. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So I always ask people to send important pictures from their lives, and this is the first one you sent me.
Yeah. That is me and my lovely wife getting married last year or 2 years ago now. But yeah, it was such a big day in my life, and what we didn't know at the time was, you just feel for anybody who had a marriage booked like up until a year ago, because nobody's been able to get married, and I just they're so expensive, but I think worth it. It was such a lovely day, and it just seals it, and that's great. But I really feel for all those people, and I mean, just from the law of averages, not all of those marriages will take place now. No.
I love this picture. You look like, look at me. I did good. I did. And she is like, rock and roll, I'm going hard. I'm taking riskies.
It looks like I really won the best side of arranged marriage. I've got that look on my face, like, I can't believe I got this one.
Mom, look at me.
Yeah, this is going to be one hell of a dowry. Yeah. I don't think we can afford this.
Where was this picture taken? Where?
In Essex, at a place called Lee's Priory, and it's one of the oldest wedding facilities on the planet.
Okay.
People have been having weddings there for, since the 1600s, and they've got one of the turrets at the back has sort of a wall that people have been scratching their love into for millennia, or if that's the word I'm looking for, but for a very long time. So long, in fact, that it's now, that wall is behind plexiglass, so you can't draw a dick on it or something. I tried.
You did. You know what? Of course you did.
Try. You gotta try.
You don't
want to just fade away to nothing. You want to be a part of history,
Yeah. I want to build a dick. I want to draw a dick.
It's appropriate. It's my wedding day. It's a sign of fertility.
I must say, I have to ask, because you're now in England, and I know we are supposed to talk about Canada, but we go there soon, but how about I don't know why it pumped to my mind. Maybe because the wedding picture was Harry and Meghan. How's the England taking the whole situation?
Yeah, it's divided us. It's really, really. But you see, I don't think the whole thing was like. I think with Meghan, what bothered me was I thought we would, and Harry also, I thought we would watch that interview and it would be them going, you know what, we've looked at royalty, we've looked at the idea of royalty, it's wrong. It's wrong. Going forward, nobody's born better than anybody else. That should be something that's decided down the line. Mm-hmm. Everybody starts off on the same thing. And it wasn't. They were like, well, our baby wasn't going to have the royal title that we wanted it to. And then we thought racism was involved. It's like, well, first of all, if the only time you saw something wrong with that was when racism came up, it's another form of racism. Classism is another form of racism. So I don't feel much sympathy for them. On the heart of it, though, I think that interview was a battle between Oprah and the Queen, where you have,
I think,
I think you have the most talented woman in the world and the least talented woman in the world, and by that I mean Oprah. I mean, look at what Oprah's done with her life.
Yeah.
You know, from coming from just a normal background, $2.7 billion she's worth, and the Queen is there, and just. Meghan Markle speaks out against the royal family, and the interview goes out, and nothing. You know, she says that they're racist, and which I truly believe. Like, and we know they are. There's you know, Prince Philip has said many racist things. And you know, that's not just that's a family that's never done anything about it. So I'd say they don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
You have all of that. They put the whole interview out, and then the day after it comes out, Oprah goes on morning breakfast TV later, going, "Oh, and by the way, it's not the Queen who said the racist thing." Like, she obviously got a call from the Queen saying, "Look, I don't care who you grabbing this. I don't want anybody thinking I'm racist, and I don't care if my grandchildren have to wear it." You know, and just that one battle where Oprah shouldn't be afraid of the Queen. Oprah has more money than the Queen. Oprah is much more talented than the Queen. The Queen should never be able to call somebody up and go, "Oh, by the way, do this." And to me, that speaks to, well, where does her power come from? Because on paper, she says she doesn't have as much money as Oprah. On paper, she says she has $500 million. Well, that's not correct. If she's able to call people up and say, change it, go on TV.
That's really. I wish there will continue a Crown series so we can see all that.
Yeah. Well, I was made to watch The Crown by my wife, who is English, so she doesn't like it when I say things like this.
Oh my God.
I really I wondered where Jimmy Savile was this series, because he was Prince Charles's best friend. He had a key to Buckingham Palace. Jimmy Savile was a very, very close friend of the royal family. He was talked about to be the godfather of Harry. Mm-hmm. I believe he was Charles's suggestion, and Diana shot it down because she could probably see that the guy was a bit of a pedophile pimp. This is what he turned out to be.
So he's not in the series, no?
No, you can't put Jimmy Savile in The Crown as much as he should be in there. He was a big part of their family, but that what it does is, I mean, people go, "Oh, it shows them in this human light, and it's not all great about it. They really air some of their dirty laundry." Yeah, Charles said whatever that means. Yeah, well. I'd much rather see the road trip he took to Vegas with Jimmy Savile, if that ever happened.
Lost in Vegas, Part 2.
Yeah. I mean, even if it didn't happen, I would like to see, if they're taking liberties in The Crown, put Savile and Prince Andrew, all of them. They all took a trip to Vegas at Christmas time. It'd be quite an episode. I'd tune in.
Who was the one? Piers Brosnan. What was the name? The who got fired
Piers
from the
Morgan.
Yeah. He's been always kind of against Meghan. I remember.
Yeah. I think that's some unrequited love going on, though. And again, I wish I didn't have such an opinion on it, but my wife.
How is she? Where she stand? Where she stand in all of this?
She's very firmly Team Harry and Meghan, which, which I am. I am half there, but I think I don't trust them, their reasoning either. I think there's something more going on, but I dislike the royal family the most out of everything. I equate the need and the thinking behind that to some very evil human beliefs. Nobody's better than anybody else.
That's true. Let's go to another family, kind of your royal family. Let's go to another picture here. Oh, yeah! Look at this.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of the royal family, here's Henry VIII.
Is that a turkey?
Yeah, that is a turkey and a ham and a salad bowl full of roast potatoes, as if to say to vegetables, get out. Your vessel will be used for the roast potatoes. We have no room for your salad. We don't need you.
Do you celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada?
We do, but not on the same day as America, because it is in essence a harvest festival. And the Canadian harvest is earlier than the American harvest.
So this is nothing to do with Thanksgiving, no?
No, that was Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day. We were supposed to go to France to see my wife's parents and spend Christmas there. And we got a day before we were meant to leave. They closed the borders again. And we were not able to. But we had fortunately purchased Christmas meats just in case, because we kind of in the back of our head, we were like, they might close that borders. And we were just going to freeze it if they didn't. But it was a moment that I realized I had everything I needed in life. And it was one of my favorite pictures. Just, a lot of people, because I think everybody had moments of feeling sorry for themselves in the lockdown, and that's a human trait, and nothing you should feel bad about for feeling sorry for yourself. But that picture is a constant reminder to me that that's all you need. You just need your family, and we didn't have everything we wanted, but we had everything we needed.
I really like. I saw in that picture let me show it again, in the background, and in the background at the moment where there's these wooden. What do you call those wooden
beams?
Yeah.
Do you know why that is? This house was built in the 1600s, I think. It was. It was one of Cromwell's generals. So, it's a lovely old house built by pure evil. But you'd think
maybe you should put a dick on one of those wood. Just grab.
Yeah.
I saw you start thinking. You started planning. Yeah, you're looking. But tell me again. I love history, so because I was asking it, it looks like a Shakespearean era. Those woods, and it is.
It is. Yeah, you can't paint this house without a government grant, or you gotta call somebody really important. Go, we'd like to change the color of the house. I'm sorry, that cannot happen. But the village this is in, it was voted Village of the Year 3 years in a row. It is so quaint. It is such a quaint little English village that when I took my wife to my parents live in a small town in British Columbia in Canada. I took my wife there for Christmas, the Christmas before this one. And this village is so quaint that it was the village on the jigsaw puzzle box that was it was for sale in the game shop in my parents' town. a picture of this village was the jigsaw puzzle.
So let's go to another picture. This made me laugh and this made me happy and everything. This was my favorite of all of these.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
Oh my God, that's really nice. What is your son name, by the way?
Atticus.
Atticus.
Yeah, like Atticus Finch from Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay, how old is he now, if you don't mind me asking?
He is 3 years old. Oh no, he's not. He's not worried about that kind of stuff now. Well, his showbiz age is.
3 years
he can
old.
play a range from 3 to 7, whatever you need. We got you.
So
yeah, 3 years old. He's 3 years old, and if so far out of because he's my first child. If I could freeze him and keep him this age forever, I would. Oh. He's so cute and loving. We introduced him to Ghostbusters the other day. We let him watch that, which maybe it was a bit of a mistake.
The original movie.
The original one, yeah. And he really liked it. He really liked Slimer. So I downloaded the cartoons for him, which is a little bit more age appropriate. Yeah. And every time he wants to see them now, he requests Ghost Monsters. He calls them the Ghost Monsters, and I will never correct him. He'll just have to figure that out on his own because it's so nice.
I just saw a preview from the another one. They're making another one again.
Yeah, it's been made. It's been ready for a long time, but they just because of COVID, I don't think they want to release it. I think it means it's quite good.
Yeah.
I think that's
yeah. It looked quite interesting. It looked quite interesting when I saw it. It was.
Yeah, I watched Coming to America Part 2 the other day, and that was not good. That was not.
That's bad. That's too bad.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to it too. I really liked the first one.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they were trying to.
Well, I least like it that from the Eddie Murphy movies was the Coming to America. I really liked the Cop and the 48 Hours and what was the one with the Dan Aykroyd?
Trading Places.
Yeah, I really like those.
Yeah, when he progressively got more family friendly, and he sort of lost his edge. I think movie wise, and I think Coming to America was kind of the last time it was close to the wisecracking dude that we all.
I always
enjoyed.
remember the interview from the first Coming to America. Some interview. Reporter said, I've been living in Africa and it's actually really poor, but you are showing it that it's really rich. So what do you say about that? And Eddie Murphy said, yeah, in what street? I was living in Africa. Yeah, in what street? But I just listened Mark Maron's. You met Maron, Mark?
Yeah, I know, Mark. I've done 3 episodes of WTF.
Really?
And Obama has only done 1. So that's what I tell my mom. He could only get 1, Mom. I did 3.
Yeah, he's really big now, Mark Maron. I loved this trip he did because I started listening to those very early on. And for me, it was really interesting because his podcasts were like my window to stand-up history, which I didn't know. You know, all the comedy store days and all that kind of stuff, and I have learned so much from his podcast.
Yeah, he's great. He's great, and he's a great guy too. There's no artifice about him. What he's like on that podcast is what he's like to hang out with, and he's got time for people, and I really do like him a lot. I wish He's one of the only things about America I miss.
But the same. But I was talking about Eddie Murphy. He said in it's quite new episode. Eddie Murphy said that he was going before the COVID. He was going to another stand-up tour, and all the dates were in a calendar. But then came COVID, and he doesn't know now if he's going to do it. But I'm really looking for that because The Raw was the first one I saw, like a stand-up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think with anybody that famous and that rich, it's going to be difficult to write because he does. We'll see if he brings in writers and it's just great gag after great gag. It'll be but who wrote it? If he does write it himself, there's a chance that it'll be very tone deaf in that, as a guy talked about half an hour about trying to sell his yacht.
Yeah. The stand-up talk, I could talk about that forever. I find it really fascinating that you have actually been in I have to listen to those Mark Maron.
It's a deep dive. It's not like it never shows up on the greatest hits.
No, I don't have the app. I only have Spotify. It doesn't show them all. You have to.
Yeah. You probably have to go to a specialty website.
Yeah. So the next one still shows me that you live a good life, and I'm because oh my god, look at this, your dog.
That's not my dog.
No?
That's my that is my parents' dog, who sadly just passed away. But he, me and my brother did a really dumb thing to bring that dog into the lives of the Wool family. My dad, he had a dog that he loved called Shadow. Mm-hmm. And Shadow was getting a bit old, but still was, helping him on the farm and everything. And my dad accidentally backed over Shadow with his truck and killed her. And he was really sad about it, but it was and it came at a thing. My dad, his horse got sick then, and they called the vet, and the vet couldn't come out for the vet wasn't going to be it was late Friday, and the vet was not going to be back till Monday, so the horse was going to have to suffer for the whole weekend. Like it had to be put down, but the vet couldn't do it, so he had to shoot his own horse very soon after, and then his favorite cow died. We're starting to suspect him. When I found out, I said, "Mom, you stay away from him for a couple of days. I don't know, he might be on a spree." So anyway, my dad was very upset. All his animals had died, and some of them, 2 of them at his own hand. So we decided to get him this dog for Christmas, me and my brother. And you don't buy someone a dog is a 15-year contract, but we were just idiots, and not young, mid-30s, 2 of us together. Yeah, get him a dog. So Christmas Day, we bring this dog in. My brother sources it, and we bring this dog in a travel sort of, one of those cases that we put him down. And we open the gate of the thing, and the dog, a little puppy, comes out, looks at my dad, immediately turns and goes to my mother and sits on her foot. And the dog had a little wolf in it, and it just sized up the whole situation and said, "She's in charge." That's and the dog was my mother's faithful companion for the rest of its life. Anytime my dad would get close to my mother, the dog would growl at him and bark. Like, even if my dad gave her a little kiss to say goodbye, it was like, you stay away from her. She is in charge, and you are less than nothing. So, and my father went through that for 15 years of just like this dog that's supposed to be his, really not liking him at all.
Such a nice present.
Yeah, for 15 years.
Yeah.
What a
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
So 15 years goes by, and they know Scout is on the way out. Like, he can't do all the things, but they took him for one last walk that they always used to do around the land. My parents have an acreage up in Canada, so they got a lot of land, and Scout couldn't chase or anything, but he wanted, the dogs, they still want to do their duty, and they take him for one last lap and take him inside, and he lay in front of the fire, just exhausted, because it's his last sort of day, and the dog knows it, and my parents are really sad, and my dad's sad too. So they sit on the couch in front of the fire, and Scout is in front of them, and my mom, obviously, this is basically her dog, and she's really broken up. This thing's been by her side for 15 years, and she's really sad. And my dad goes and just quietly holds my mother's hand, just to sort of include himself in the moment. And Scout, he popped one eye up when it happened, and he mustered everything he could just so he could growl at my dad one last time.
So you have you were talking about your dad's horse, and so when you were a kid, were there a lot of animals around?
Yeah. Well, not like, we kind of grew up all over Canada, but my Estonian grandparents, they had a farm, so we go out and see them every summertime, and they had goats and chickens and geese and roosters, and that's where I developed a healthy hate for roosters. Those are terrible. I tell people don't know. When they're like, oh, they're in these cockfights, and I'm like, good, kill them, kill all the roosters. You should kill them both at the end. You don't know what roosters have that coming.
So they've been teasing you when you were.
Yes, I was chased by the rooster.
Ah, okay. You had to a little bit explain about the next picture, because I have no idea what's happening there. What's going on?
Oh, well, this goes back to the Estonian. The Estonian thing, and that is, my dad's from an island called Hiiumaa. It's the smaller. There's Hiiumaa and Saaremaa.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah, and I always say it wrong, but that's the island that we're from as a family on my Estonian side, and that's the statue that they've put up. That's at the ferry terminal. It was very famous when they finally built like a new ferry terminal. There was a maiden voyage, and they left the dock, and that guy and his goat showed up on the shore, and the captain of the ship saw them, and the guy waved at the captain, and he's like, all right. And he turned the boat around, and he re-docked, and he said, okay, get on. And he's like, no, I was just waving at you. I don't need to go anywhere. And the captain was incensed. He was so mad that he called the police. He got him arrested. The ferry terminal, or the ferry company, sued him because they were late with they sued him for all this money and stuff. And this whole big court case got in front of the judge, and the judge just took a look at it and said, it was a joke. And he just said not guilty because it was a joke. They had this whole thing like, well, how dare you? And the judge is like, we got, but and it's a funny story, but it also and what a time that people remember that's important, and that because that came up when they were dragging down all these statues here in England, going, well, this guy sold slaves, and this guy was a war criminal, and I do believe that. I think that, and it's not just because that's the island that I'm from, or that my family's from. I think that's the best statue I've ever seen, because it's not about a person; it's about a situation, and it should be enshrined. Kids should go around a statue and go, what was that? He's like, well, just so you know, we you got to learn how to take a joke.
Yeah. It was a joke. That's a good one.
Yeah.
From the
and
start.
It's not even like, it's not a great joke. My dad had to explain it to me. He thought, because the people of Yuma apparently do have quite a weird sense of humor locally. Like, people say, yeah, they laugh and it's not funny. Like, but the joke is that he thought it would be funny if the captain thought that guy had family on the mainland. That was what was funny to him. Mm-hmm. In that, like, don't forget me. I got my cousin. He lives over in Tartu. Yeah. Yeah,
because when I was watching this picture, and then I started googling "men and a goat," and it came a whole lot of different pictures than that one.
Yeah.
And then I actually
you're on a government list now.
Yeah, probably.
You're lucky. You're lucky you can't travel, because you're not going anywhere for a few years.
Then I Googled. I thought actually that was from Canada. Then I go, man and a go, Canada.
Well, then you would have saw me.
Yeah,
you would have saw
actually I did. Actually I did.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. Actually, this is a trap for you, because actually this is FBI asked me to do this to get the confession. Yeah.
If the FBI can't catch me over the last year, then they just didn't want to catch me.
Then I asked you about Canada again. Where would you take me there? And you said Mount Seymour, right?
Yeah. Well, that's where that picture where I got my kid on my back and his bum's coming out. Yeah. That's it's just outside of Vancouver. Mm-hmm. It's this lovely mountain. You drive up it, and then there's all these trails. There's a alpine lake there. That it's just amazing that it's so close to this huge city, and then you drive for half an hour, and then you're really in the mountains. Yeah. And I spent a little time at Mount Seymour when I was growing up, but not enough. It was only when I brought my wife and my kid home that I realized, like, there's so much that I didn't take advantage of when I was here, like, especially in my teenage years, it was all about smoking the biggest joint and drinking the biggest beer I could find. And I just, it's one of those places. Not only do I want to take you there, I want to take me there. I want to go back. I want to go back in time and take advantage of the amazing place that I was gifted and didn't use to its full extent. And in Vancouver, you've got the ocean, and then you've got the mountains, and then you got it's the only city that. Because it's got that it could sustain itself if everything broke down. It's got enough farmland close. Like most cities, just there'd be food riots, and there still would be. But yeah, it's so perfectly placed for everything. It could actually sustain itself with the ocean and the agriculture.
I have so many good things about Vancouver, and I love nature and taking pictures of nature. I kind of my hobby. So that would be, I will take you there.
go.
Yeah. So, Glenn, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate you sharing the pictures about your family and the dog and the weird goat statue with the man and the wedding picture where you looked so happy. You made it, and I really wish you all the best for everything. So, thanks for doing this, and thank you for I will take you to the mountains.
Oh, so thank you, Glenn. Thank you. It was a pleasure, as always, to talk to you. And I wish this COVID thing will end soon so you can go into your gigs. And if you have ever chance to see Glenn, go see him. He's very funny, and you will probably find a lot of videos from YouTube of his comedy. But thank you for watching, and remember to like. If you like this, it make me like you and the world more. And remember to subscribe, and remember the comment, whatever. Just remember to do a lot of stuff. And next week we're gonna travel somewhere else. And I don't tell you yet where, because I have no idea. See you next week. Bye.
I gotta get out, I got to see